Lefty Reed here. The answer is snow. How much water can we harvest from the snow on this planet? Not the ice, like the polar ice caps. I'd leave those alone if I were you. But the mountains, the snow that snows in Nebraska. How much water can we harvest from the snowfall on this planet and on the mountains to water ourselves, so we have water for crop, for human consumption? I don't know the ratios of how much it would produce, but if we leave the polar ice caps alone because we don't want those to melt, I don't know if that's a good idea to try harvesting water from there. Like, maybe, maybe not. I'm not a scientist like that. In the Colorado Rockies, like, you take the snow out of there, it'll come back in a month or so. I don't know. So it seems like a good idea that instead of pulling water out of the ground like we are, which we should all know that the Pacific Ocean is poisoned with radiation poisoning from the 2011 earthquake in Fukushima, because they just found radiation in California and the Pacific up on the coast. And that may be what's causing a lot of the problems in the weather the past couple of years. Radiation poisoning. Like, they did build a big mile deep ice wall around it so that the water that's coming off of the land doesn't pull the radiation with it. But it's apparently going to take 30 to 40 years to clean that totally up. But in the meantime, radiation has made its way to California. So the whole Pacific Ocean is just poisoned. How much of our fish and our food that we are eating is coming from the Pacific Ocean, I don't know. Another theory, and this isn't kind of, I don't know. If we have waste on this planet that we want to get rid of, instead of putting it on the planet, why don't we put it on a different planet? Put it on Jupiter. Throw it at the sun for all I care. I don't know if that would cause the sun to have problems, so that might not be a good idea since that's the substance of our life here on Earth. But if you were to put all of our waste, the nuclear waste, the trash waste that can't be recycled, put that on a different planet, et cetera, et cetera. And that probably should have been another video. I might make it another video. But back to the original subject, there's probably a lot of snow on this planet, minus the polar ice caps in Antarctica, that will supply us with water. Maybe not all the water we need, but I guarantee you it's probably a good chunk. I don't know. Maybe if households had systems of where we urinated into that cleaned our urine so we could drink our own urine, that might help save sewage costs. That might help save sewage waste. And like, I would have no problem peeing into a machine that cleaned my urine so I could later drink it. That wouldn't be a big deal. On the subject of water, if we had outhouses in our yard and had a half-a-mile hole dug and we used that as a bathroom to put poop in, maybe we wouldn't need the water treatment facilities because we would pee into a machine that would clean it for our own personal water use, and or maybe the community's personal water use. But the poop would be going back into the soil where it would naturally get dispersed and turned into soil through time as compost. So these ideas are possible, and we can heat and air condition our outhouse instead of having all these pipes, pipe problems that we have with water systems, stuff breaking down. It would be more reliable, and it would just be better for our environment. So I think those are some ways that we can provide water for ourselves in the future. Stop taking it out of the ground and take it from the top down. Because like I said, the Pacific Ocean has been poisoned, and I don't know how much of our water and our resources of food are coming from the Pacific Ocean at this current time. but I would assume there is radiation poison in the aquatic life that's there, and there will be for quite some time now, if not forever. I don't know how that works. So please subscribe, please share. I have a lot of revolutionary ideas on how to sustain this planet and ideas that we need to do to make sure this humanity actually lives further on instead of getting destroyed in a mass extinction. So thank you. Please subscribe and share.